So, it is sit at home or die. Because the best way to commemorate the death of 3 million people who died 50 years ago is to kill some more people today. Ndigbo ibem, Loonu Ililo. One of the red flags of a society on the path of destruction is the death of empathy. When the only valid viewpoint is mine and I am prepared to enforce it with a gun. I can kill my fellow man at will for how he looks, for how he talks. His legs are like logs to me. His blood is palm oil. And the cries of his widow and children is music to my ears. That is the death of empathy. These red flags are flying across Ndigbo, destroying our societies. Some think it is the ruthlessness needed to win Biafra. Maybe. But a victory won with the dictatorship of the gun has to be preserved with the gun in a new dictatorship of the cemetery. On the other hand, if we win with restraint, with negotiations, without murders and arson, we can celebrate on democratic streets flowing with palm wine rather than blood. There is a new rudeness in the heart of Ndigbo that despises wisdom, that celebrates insolence. We have lost the eloquence of Chinua Achebe's cultured language and replaced it with hatred, with abuse, and with the banter of bullets. We have killed conversation with our readiness to insult the other person. In our culture, the wise will hold settlement meetings for the hours and days and weeks and months necessary to resolve the most difficult problems in a way that will keep the community whole at the end of the day. Today, the only acceptable viewpoint is my own. And when you disagree with me, my first sentence is, "You're a bastard, you're a devil." And since there can be no conversation with the devil, the next step is to call out the gunmen. A classmate of mine was killed yesterday by unknown gunmen. No matter who pulled the trigger directly, we know that his blood, and the blood of all those thousands who have died and all those thousands who will also die in this season of bloodshed, their blood is on the hands of all of us who circulated a call to bloodshed, who contributed a tweet of hatred that enabled the slaughter. No well-born child takes a cutlass into a meeting of the Umunna. No true friend or brother gives you a gun to go to settle family differences. Only your enemy, dressed up as your friend or your savior, will do that. Solomon's test of motherhood was the mother who would rather lose her child than have it cut into two. We cannot blow up our land and claim we love her. There is no village square or town hall or public building in Igbo land that can be improved by a bomb. This madness must stop. Ndigbo Loonu Ililo. The only man who can bury the hatchet is the wounded man who pulls it out of his wound and refrains from the revenge of self-help. Once he throws it again, he loses control of the hatchet and of his destiny, because his hatchet will kill innocents, who will revenge on other innocents, and the cycle continues. He lights a fire which he has no power to quench. In the 60s, the killing of the northern leaders by coup plotters was followed by a campaign of hate speech in the north that led to the killing of 30,000 innocent Igbos with a hatchet of hatred. Our national leaders in the 60s failed us. They answered the death of 30,000 Igbos with the death of 3 million Igbos. They failed to find a path of peace, of law and order, of the rule of law. Once again, we're at the crossroads of war and peace. On one hand, we have so-called heroes that call us to arms, to revenge our justifiable grievances extrajudicially on innocent Northerners and Igbos alike in our midst. On the other hand, we have so-called cowards that call us to patience, to pursue the machinery of the rule of law, however creaky it is, to speak truth to power, but most dangerously of all, to speak truth to ourselves. There is a peaceful path to our greater future. Whether that future is through an independent Biafra or a radically restructured Nigeria, we must find it. It is hypocrisy to commemorate the death of 3 million in the past when we are scornful of efforts to prevent the death of 3 million in the future. Self-protection is not revenge. I am a war child. By 1970, when the war ended, I was 7 years old. If we go back to the cemeteries of a civil war and raise my 2 million fellow children who were starved or bombed to death, if we were to give them the right we demand today, a referendum on their deepest desires, I know they would all vote to leave. Those that chant, "Sit at home or die" today, should know that they draw the blood of their brothers and sisters in the name of demons of war, not in the commemoration of the innocent dead of the Civil War. The children that crossed the rivers of war on the shoulders and the heads of their parents can mock, it was not even deep. But caveat emptor Ndigbo, be careful what you buy. Loonu Ililo.